So let's talk about the future here, Andrew, where if they're telling us now that it's deficit next year, deeper deficit the year after that, that they've saved us from the debt of the evil Morrison government. Remember, this is the bloke who, when he was the Shadow Treasurer, wanted the taxpayer to buy Virgin Airlines, OK? They wanted that to go even deeper, JobKeeper to go forever, all the rest of it, right? But still, this government is going to be the one that's going to take us over $1 trillion. It's going to take us to 1.1 trillion in the next couple of years. Now, the politics they're going to try to play here is, oh, well, the deficit we said was going to be really bad, but it's only this bad next year, or we were able to squeeze it into a surplus. But if the reality of the key economic document that the government has said is 100,000 people lose their jobs and the country's going to owe $1.1 trillion, how does anyone who even wants to hold water for the Labor Party say this is a great document?
I know. I mean, it's the most dishonest budget, the craziest budget I've seen forever. For federal budget, I mean, the Victorian state budget takes some believing too. But federally, this is the most amazing budget I've seen. And it's based on deceit. I mean, to pick up on what Chris is saying, right? Here we've had green policies, and there's state and federal Labor green policies on global warming have caused power prices to go through the roof. And the government says to compensate for that idiocy that we have created, we are going to give you $3 billion, that's $300 per household, $300 per household, relief from your power bills of money that we're actually taking from you. I mean, in what universe is it power? Is it relief to have money taken from you and then given back to you to compensate for the extra, even more money that you've had to pay because of this government's errors? And let's not forget the other handout here of the debt relief, which is $1.3 billion more. I mean, the money that they're just chucking out that is for low-income people who are struggling to meet their rent. What has caused the explosion in rent?
Immigration.
Another Labor mistake. The immigration. 550,000 people in a single year without building the houses to accommodate them. And so, the mortgages have gone up. House prices have gone up, and also rents have gone up. And to compensate for this Labor error, some people are going to get a little help with their rent relief. I mean, seriously, it is a con. Fix immigration. Fix your power
They won't do
policies.
This is my point about treating us like hostages, Andrew. It's like they want us all to be dependent on some government handout or some government rebate. No matter how much they punish us with their bad policies, we're supposed to be grateful for the little crumbs they throw back at us of our money. It's outrageous, and hopefully people will start to see through it.
But as you said, Chris, right? You know, if I saw some repentance in this budget, I'd say, oh well, thank heavens they've seen the error of their ways. No, they're compensating us, yes, for their global warming policies, but doubling down on them. And on immigration, they say, all right, you know, you got us. We're going to halve the immigration rate. When they halve the immigration rate, know this, it'll still be more than double the long-term immigration that we've had. It'll still be much more than we need. It'll still drive prices, rents, and house prices through the roof. It'll still crowd your cities. I mean, where is the lessons being learned here?
So let's talk about the question that is being discussed amongst the bubble, which is this the precursor to an election? I think that it gives them a chance at one, right? It's about trying to... Now, again, the Prime Minister will decide when the Prime Minister decides. Now, he's able to do so from August under the rules about when you can have an election, and he can go all the way to a few months into next year. That's the reality, right? But their hope is that tax returns start to change after July, that the first of your bills is slightly down after the first quarter, after July. The hope is that the political message will be boom, boom, boom about every household, every taxpayer. And on top of that, don't forget, they're spending $40 million of your money to remind you about the too little too late tax cuts and how amazing they are. So, who knows? But Chris, does it seem like they're giving themselves a window if they think this is the moment to go before this year is done?
Undoubtedly, Paul. Now, as you know, I've been saying to you for quite some time that I thought an election later this year is very much on the cards. And one of the reasons I've been saying that is because we've been lucky. The whole country's been lucky with a couple of mild summers. If we get a normal summer, we're going to run short of electricity. We're going to have February, March, where we don't have enough power in this country. That's what all the experts tell us. We've just been lucky with the weather. So I've always thought Labor would be very, very nervous about going to an election on the back of a summer of blackouts and an electricity crises. And now take the step back to this budget. All of this plays into it. There's the tax cuts come through, this electricity handout. They'll try and hope that there's a little bit of a dip in inflation for a while, at least that interest rates don't go up between now and Christmas. And you get the Queensland election out of the way in October. And there is a window there for November, late November or even early December. Now, they wouldn't have made up their minds yet. You've got to wait and see how the cookie crumbles. But I think there's absolutely a chance that if these things line up, but before things go pear-shaped for them, they'll try to run off to the polls before the end of the year.